All right, let's dive into an exciting quest, the hunt for your very own piece of land. I mean, it's a journey that feels full of incredible possibilities, right? But as we're about to find out, there are some hidden traps you've really got to watch out for. So, you've been scrolling online for weeks, maybe months, and then, bam, you see it. The one, the perfect piece of land. You can already picture everything, can't you? The amazing views, all that open space. And hey, the price is actually right. It really feels like you've just found your own private slice of freedom. It's a huge moment, the start of a dream. But what if that dream hits a dead end? Because there is this one absolutely critical question that a lot of buyers, and I mean a lot, just forget to ask until it's way too late. What if you can't actually get to it? What if that little road you see on the map isn't a road you're legally allowed to use? Now, this is where our adventure really kicks off. Look, it's so easy to get caught up in the big things, right? The price, how many acres you're getting, the beautiful views. But access rights? They deserve just as much, if not more, attention. Because without clear legal access, you might not be able to get a building permit. Forget about running utility lines. You might not even be able to drive onto your own land to camp or hunt. All that beautiful land could be, well, pretty much useless. Okay, so here's the first big trap that catches so many people. They hear the word access and think it's just one simple thing. But nope, as we're about to see, there are actually two totally different types of access. And believe me, knowing the difference is the very first key to unlocking your property's true potential. All right, let's get into the lingo. You gotta learn the language of access. Think of these next few terms as like the secret code you need to crack to make sure your purchase is a home run. Once you get these down, you're gonna feel so much more confident going through this whole process. Okay, this right here, this is the absolute core of it all. Physical access is just what it sounds like. You can see a path, a dirt road, something that physically gets you to the property. But legal access, now that's what really matters. That means the law actually recognizes your right to use that path. The biggest, and I mean biggest, mistake you can make is just assuming that because a road is there, you can use it. That's a huge gamble. And that assumption can lead you straight into the ultimate nightmare scenario for a landowner, being landlocked. So what does that mean? It means your property is basically an island, completely surrounded by other private land, with zero way to get to a public road without trespassing. And you might be surprised. This happens way more often than you'd think, especially out in rural or mountainous areas where big parcels have been chopped up over the years. And trust me, this isn't just some legal mumbo-jumbo. The consequences are incredibly real. Think about it. You can't get building materials delivered. What about emergency services, like an ambulance or fire truck? They can't get in. Even you might not be able to legally drive into camp for the weekend. This one single issue can bring every single one of your plans to a screeching halt. Okay, so we've talked about the problem, the big scary nightmare. But the good news is, there are solutions. There are ways to fix this. Just think of them as the secret passages and the legal keys that can create that pathway to your property, even if it's not sitting right on a public road. So the most common key, if you will, is something called an easement. All an easement is, really, is a legal right to use a little piece of someone else's property for a very specific reason. For example, an ingress and egress easement. That's just fancy talk for the right to drive in and out. Or you might have a utility easement for power lines, or an easement to use a private road that a few neighbors share. And it's so important to know exactly what kind of road gets you to your land. A public county road? That's the gold standard. The county takes care of it, it's open to everyone, no problem. A private road, though, that's a whole different animal. It's up to the property owners to maintain it, and you absolutely 100% have to make sure there's a legal agreement in place that covers who can use it and who pays for upkeep. And hey, here's a pro tip for you. Don't just check out the access on a beautiful, sunny summer day. You have to think about the seasons. I mean, in a place like Colorado, that perfect dirt road can be buried under feet of snow in the winter or become a total mud pit in the spring. All of a sudden, your dream of a year-round getaway is really just a summer-only cabin. So, with all that in mind, how do you actually protect yourself from all this? Well, you need the right toolkit, and that's what we're going to cover next. Seriously, think of this as your treasure map, the essential must-do checklist for every single person thinking about buying land. Following these steps is going to make you feel so much better about the whole thing. First up, get on your computer and look at satellite and parcel maps to get a feel for the area. Step 2, actually pick up the phone and call the county planning office to ask them about the road access. Third, you've got to get your hands on the title documents and read them carefully for any mention of easements. Fourth, if there's any doubt in your mind at all, order a professional survey. And last but not least, nothing, and I mean nothing, replaces actually going out there and walking the property yourself. Now, out of all those tools in your kit, there are two that are your absolute best friends: a survey and a title report. Think of them as your map and your compass. The survey physically draws out your property lines and any easements, so there's zero confusion. And the title report? That's like the property's biography. It tells you all the legal history and helps you avoid fights with your neighbors down the road. Whatever you do, do not skip these steps. All right, let's bring this all together. Getting a handle on access and making sure it's secure isn't just about dodging a bullet. It's really about protecting your investment and unlocking the real long-term value of that piece of land you're so excited about. And when we talk about value, the financial difference is, well, it's huge. It couldn't be more clear. A property with solid, documented legal access versus one where it's kind of fuzzy, we're talking a dramatic difference in price. It's simple. A property that's hard to get to is also hard to sell, and that kills its value. So making sure you have proper access is a direct investment in your own financial future. So what are the things that really drive up that value? It's a mix of a few key things. How far are you from a public road? What's the quality of the road to get there? Do you have ironclad legal paperwork, like a recorded easement? And does everyone know exactly who's supposed to pay for road maintenance? Nailing these down is what gives you, and anyone who might buy it from you someday, total peace of mind. So in the end, finding that perfect plot of land really is like finding buried treasure. But the map and the beautiful view, that's only half the story. The real treasure is holding the keys that actually let you get to it. So before you sign anything, just ask yourself this one last question. Do I have the right keys to actually unlock this dream?